Greetings. Today's pen is a Wingsung Model 666. I apologize for the model number for those of you who are superstitious, but that is what it is. So this is an interesting pen with a interesting nib, which we'll get to in a little bit. At first glance, it's a very traditional looking black cigar shaped pen. It's a metal pen. So it's decently heavy, weighs 44 grams. So this is not a light pen by any means. It's sort of an average size pen. Here it is compared to a Lamy Safari and a Pilot Metropolitan. So you can see it's a little bit smaller than these pens, but kind of in the ballpark. Again, like I said, traditional cigar shaped pen. Interesting, there's no hero name in English here, so we only have Chinese characters and the hero. I'm sorry, did I say here? We only have Chinese Wingsung. We only have Chinese characters and the Wingsung logo here, and then it says 666. It has a nice kind of swooping, slightly arched clip that is nice and functional. The cap snaps off and snaps on, and it has a pretty pronounced rim in the section to actually hold the cap on, and when you post it, it's a snap to post, so it actually snaps on to post, and it does post well and solidly, not particularly deeply, so you get kind of a long, slightly back-weighted pen, but I'm a big fan of posting, so I post all the time, but you could, of course, use this pen unposted. That would be fine. It is plenty long enough. It has a tapered section with nothing between you and the nib. So again, if you have one of these people who have kind of wandering fingers, you may get your fingers on the nib, but this is a hooded nib, so there's not a lot of the nib exposed. It has this little sort of inset kind of arrow design that is reminiscent of old Parker 61s. That's not what this is, but they used to have a similar inset arrow logo. It is a cartridge converter pen, and it comes with a fairly nice predominantly plastic converter, which you can't see it in here, but it does have a spring coil agitator in the converter. And it has a nice sort of plastic liner inside the cap to keep the nib from drying out. So that is the cool pen. Now, the nib. This is a bent calligraphy type nib, so you do get some line variation due to the bend in the tip, which we will see when we write with it. And this nib does write quite well, as we will see in the writing sample. So all in all, a smart looking pen, a very solidly well constructed pen. I have to say, this has got a really nice kind of feel to it. Not an expensive pen at all. This is definitely one of those very inexpensive Chinese pens, but considering you're getting kind of a cool nib and a nicely constructed pen, I think all in all is a pretty good deal. But you're probably wondering, how does it write? We're going to find that out right this second. Okay, folks, what we're writing with here is a Wingsung Model 666, and this has a steel hooded nib. And I like the way this writes. It let's see. You know, obviously with a nib like this, the angle is going to very much control your line width. So when you go low, you get a slightly broader line, and if you go really high, you get a thinner line. It's not huge. It's not like writing with a stub or anything like that, but you do get some character to your writing with this. And I think it's actually quite a pleasant writing experience. It's not scratchy. It's very smooth, and I enjoy writing with it quite a bit. So this is a nice nib. They did a nice job with this. And again, you could do all sorts of playing around with your angle to get different line widths. Again, not huge amounts of variation, but subtle, and it writes nice. good job. I like this pen. I like this pen quite a bit. So that's this pen. Let's talk about this ink now, because this is a somewhat unusual and interesting ink. So this ink is Diamine Robert. And this is an exclusive ink from Cult Pens in the UK. So a while back, I did a review of Diamine Skull and Roses, which is an exclusive ink to the entire country of Germany. So you can get it from lots of different vendors in Germany. This is I guess I'll call it super exclusive, that not only is it exclusive to a country, it's exclusive to one particular vendor within that country. So you can only get this ink from Cult Pens in the UK. Here's what the bottle looks like. It's a normal Diamine bottle with a little different label on it, and they refer to this line of inks as the iridescent inks, and we're going to see why in a minute, because this is, I guess, what I would like to refer to as a super sheening ink. So very often on a sheening ink, I would go to Tomoe River paper, because you can't really see the sheen too much on the Rhodia paper, but not here. So this is a maroon ink that sheens gold, and the sheening is quite apparent even on this Rhodia paper. We will do a little bit of writing now on the Tomoe River paper just for completeness sake, but again, you can pick up the sheen. Not on all papers. If you have very, very cheap copy paper, the sheen's not going to look good, but definitely on the Rhodia and for sure on the Tomoe River paper. So again, this is Diamine Robert, and it's a really, really nice ink, but it is a very, very highly sheening ink. So just keep that in mind. There's no two ways around this. So this is we'll call this very high sheen. So this is kind of like, if you remember when I showed Organic Studio Nitrogen, that was a blue ink with a red sheen that pretty much covered all your writing. This is similar to that, except this is a maroon ink with a gold sheen that pretty much will, depending on the angle you look at it, will pretty much cover up your entire writing. So it's actually somewhat difficult under certain circumstances and angles to even see the maroon anymore once it dries, because then basically what you're just getting is a full-blown gold sheen. It looks great, though. I really have to say, this is a great, great looking ink. So if you're looking for sort of an ultra high sheen ink, and you know, gold sheen is nice, and it's not the most common. I mean, the red sheen that you see on like Organic Studio Nitrogen or Diamine Skull and Roses, that's actually a fairly common sheen. This gold colored sheen is slightly less common, but it really, really, really looks terrific. And I really like it a lot. Okay, I don't have a ton more to say about this pen or this ink. So this week I think we got a really, really nice pen with a cool nib that I really enjoy, and an extremely cool ink. So if you can get a hold of this, and actually, to be honest with you, I didn't have a ton of difficulty getting a hold of this. So you can go to Cult Pens in the UK. I ordered a bunch of different inks, so the shipping wasn't too bad, and I have to say, they got it to me very quickly. I ordered it during Christmas season, and it got here all the way from the UK to me here in the US quicker than a lot of US-based vendors get me their products. So I have to give a good shout out to Cult Pens. They have a really nice ink, and they have really good shipping and customer service. So a shout out to Cult Pens. So that was very. So I would imagine, regardless of where you are, you could probably order this from Cult Pens without too much difficulty if you like it. So that's about it for this episode. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you don't already do so. Keep those fantastic comments coming and those thumbs up as well. They are much appreciated. And until next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.